Not everything makes it into the house, and that's intentional because building a house isn't about gathering everything that's available. It's about choosing what deserves to stay. This episode is about discernment, about restraint, about how the house decides what belongs. Because what's left out is just as important as what's included. I want to show you a few things that didn't make the cut. Not because they were wrong, not because they were flawed, but because they weren't right here. Discernment isn't rejection, it's clarity. It's the ability to recognize when something doesn't align with the larger intention. A house isn't built by collecting options, it's built by choosing carefully and standing by those choices. When you choose with intention, you reduce noise. And when noise disappears, what remains becomes powerful. This is a shade of pink that I tested. There's nothing wrong with it. It's soft, it's pretty, it photographs well. But color sets tone, and tone becomes identity. Once the house chooses a tone, it stays consistent, not because of limitation, but because consistency creates clarity. When every piece feels like it belongs, nothing feels distracting, nothing feels accidental. Consistency allows the experience to flow. I also tested these branded plastic bags. They were on theme, they were visually aligned, they were technically correct, but there's a moment where branding stops feeling intentional and starts feeling loud. When a logo is everywhere, the experience disappears. And I don't want the house to feel like it's shouting. The house doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need to persuade. It doesn't need to convince. It simply needs to feel right. And when something disrupts that feeling, it doesn't stay. I wanted to include this as a freebie. And on the surface, it made sense. It was cute, it was on brand, it felt generous. But the quality didn't match the rest of the house. And the color variation mattered. Consistency isn't a detail, it's a standard. If something is included, it has to uphold the same level of care as everything else. Not almost, not mostly, completely. And when it doesn't get included. Even if it's free, even if it's extra, even if it's expected. Because giving something that doesn't align creates confusion, and confusion breaks trust. It can be tempting to add more packaging, more extras, more layers, because more feels generous. But more isn't always better for the guests. Sometimes more becomes overwhelming. Sometimes more becomes clutter. Sometimes more becomes noise. I want what you receive to make sense visually, practically, emotionally. I want every element to feel like it's earned its place. So the experience feels clean, calm, resolved. If something is included in the house, it's earned its place. Not because it was available, not because it was trending, not because it was easy, but because it supports the experience. That's the standard. That's the line. That's what protects the house from becoming cluttered, right? What doesn't make the cut matters just as much as what does, because restraint is part of the care.